Hi, this is a really quick video, assuming I don't ramble. If any of you have been to my website in the last 12 months or so, I think at this point, you'll know that each game card has some tags, tells you what map style there is, tells you when the game was released, it tells you either when I mapped it or when the map was last updated, tells you what tier I gave it, tells you what engine it's made in if it's known. Clicking that thumbnail takes you through to the Google Drive where all the free maps live. Clicking the HQ thing takes you to the coffee.com store where the supporter packs live. Clicking the links in the bottom right hand corner takes you to the Steam store or elsewhere where appropriate. And smack bang in the middle, there's this line about contact damage. And this came about because somebody asked me, Demo, how much work would it be to put a list of features that the game has? And I didn't know. So I thought I'd start with contact damage, which seemed to be a bit of a bugbear for a lot of people, including myself. And I went through my entire database of games, and they've all got, well, they've almost all got whether the game has got contact damage or not. And I had a bit of free time recently, and I decided to pose the question to people. I don't have infinite time, but what other things would you like in a similar vein? What kind of things would you like to see? What kind of information would you like on this page that's searchable so that you can quickly find out, this game has got contact damage, I'm not interested in that. This game's got really bad fast travel, not interested in that. This game's got this style of healing, yada, 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 yada. So, I thought for multiple days about what to do, and I just posed the question to my community, quote unquote, over on coffee.com. And I was a little bit overwhelmed, I have to admit, with the feedback that I got in terms of, people would like to know these things, people would find this information useful. And I realised that because there are a good 135, almost 140 at this point, I actually haven't counted in a while, but there's a lot of games on this list. It would take me an awfully long time to go through every single game from A to Z, or latest or updated, or however you want to, maybe even start with the oldest games, what have you. It would take me a very long time to go through this list and to write down all of the things. It would involve me essentially installing 130 plus games and playing enough of that game to figure out all of the things. So what I did instead was create this. This is a work in progress of, first of all, the games that I've mapped, and then also the games that are also on my website or in my website's database that I either haven't mapped, haven't played, or what have you. And I've started with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 columns. And I'm already kind of regretting the 5th column, I have to admit. The contact damage column is easy enough to do. It is essentially a yes or no answer. So let's choose Night Witch. I can't remember whether the Night Witch has contact damage or not, so I haven't filled it in. I've technically got an unknown thing on there. I don't know why I've got that. The game's either got contact damage or it hasn't, and I'm not going to go and tick unknown for all of the games that I don't know. I'm just going to leave it at that, so I'll probably remove that field. But yeah, contact damage. Do enemies hurt the player through contact or only via attacks? Now, obviously, certain games have got enemies that do deal contact damage because they've got spikes all over them or they're covered in electricity, but for the most part, the enemies don't deal contact damage. If that is the case, then it goes under no. they don't deal contact damage, except in those very specific circumstances. And because this is a Google Sheet, you do have the option of right-clicking and adding, let's choose a cell that hasn't got one, inserting a note to provide explanation. Progress lost on death. What is the penalty for dying other than your lost time? So we've got things like you lose everything, i.e. it's got hard checkpointing. You lose currency, you don't lose anything. You lose something specific, like in, for example, Blasphemous, where you lose a chunk of your magic bar. Or actually in Hollow Knight, where you lose a chunk of your soul globe. I've forgotten about that, I'll add that in. You lose XP, if the game specifically got an XP system. If you're talking something like a Souls-like, where you lose your souls, they technically count as currency or XP. It's up to you. Is there a corpse run? Does it have some kind of rogue-like progression? Something like Astalon would fit in that. What are the healing options? There's loads of different healing styles. There's the kind of renews at the checkpoint Estus flask style thing. You've got games where your health is refillable through combat by a mechanic like in Hollow Knight, for example. You've got games like Ebenezer, where you've got single-use consumables like food, or Castlevania Symphony of the Night, like health potions. You've got games where your health fills at locations. You've got some games where your health only fills at specific locations, like when it refills at a save point or a fountain or something like that. Some games, generally more Metroid-y, have health pickups for your shields, but games like Soldiers also have single-use consumable. Well, does Soldiers have single-use consumables? It does, doesn't it? But it's also got healing pickups. You've got some games where your health is refilled on death, and you've got some games which don't have healing systems because they don't have healing, like Yoku's Island Express. There's probably others that I haven't thought of that I might need to add in as we go down this. Fast travel. How easy do the developers make it to get around the map? So we've got fast travel from save points. We've got fast travel at dedicated locations like warp rooms. We've got fast travel from anywhere. That isn't particularly common, but games like Blade Chimera do have fast travel from literally anywhere, which, I've got opinions on. Is it an ability that's unlocked early game, mid game, end game? Is it something that is unlocked via request, or an ability that you have to find? For example, in the Kratosvania, the God of War game, Sons of Sparta, that's the official name. I can never remember because I just call it Kratosvania. The ability to get fast travel, you get fairly late in the game, unless you know the game really well and you can speed through it. The fastest I managed to get there was about 7 hours, and that was just by speed running as well as I could through the game. Does it have a currency cost? Some games like Astronaut, you have to pay to fast travel. Some games have a currency cost to unlock the ability to fast travel, but after that you don't need to. Does Silksong have that? Silksong might have that, I can't remember. Are fast travel points sparse? So are they quite rare? Or is there at least one per zone? Are they frequent? Are they one way only? Some games have fast travel points that, for example, Gal Guardians used to only have fast travel one way, or it had a type of fast travel that was only one way. I believe they've now changed that. Does it have no fast travel? Does it have a hub room like in Doomblade or Axiom Verge? Both of which have hub room style things which connect to everywhere. AM2R, I believe, also has something like that, though that admittedly isn't on this list. And then missables. Missable items, missable quests, missable endings, missable bosses, missable trophies. All relatively self-explanatory. Although I do need to have the caveat that that is in a typical playthrough. So for example, Astic, you have, if you just do a single playthrough of the game, there are missable bosses because of the nature of the game. It makes you do binary choices. You either do this boss or that boss, and then you move on, and then you do this boss or that boss. And in order to see the other bosses, you have to do another playthrough. In the original Blasphemous, there is a trophy for, and this is only very vague in my head because it's been years, but there's a trophy for killing the winged lady when you first meet her on the way down to Hondo, next to the burnt tree. And you have to kill her there or you miss the opportunity to have the trophy. Unless you do another playthrough. So it's that kind of stuff. So what is my point in making this video, which is somehow already 10 minutes long? I can't do all of this by myself. And I could, but it will take years. And this is not the most exciting use of my time, it has to be said, but it is something that people are interested in, and to an extent I am as well. Obviously, all of the games that I've mapped, for the most part, bar a couple, I have played. So eventually I could get round to going through all of these myself, but I figured, why should I do all the work for this? That sounds wrong. That makes me sound really lazy. Why should I be the only person? Why should I not ask for help? Why should I just put this burden on my shoulders and try and do it all myself? Essentially, when I have a community of people, or there are people out there that know me, even if you don't count yourself as a part of my community. Do I have a community? I don't know. Anyway, I need assistance with this because some of these games I haven't touched in years, which means that I don't remember any of the details. Some of them I played recently, some of them I've redone maps for recently, some of them I literally couldn't tell you the first thing about because I haven't played them, like Iconoclast. I haven't played Iconoclast since 2019? Yeah, that was 7 years ago. So any help that people can offer, especially with some of these games that I just haven't played, let alone haven't mapped, any help that people can offer would be really useful. Now, there is a degree of trust necessary for this. I have to trust that people are interested enough in having this be accurate that they don't deliberately try and fuck it up for people. If somebody comes in and screws this over, then that's it. That's it done. I'm not going to try and recreate it. This is just me saying I can't do this all on my own at a reasonable pace. Would people be interested in helping me out? It is fully editable, apart from the actual options for the drop downs. There on the ranges tab, that's locked. So you can't alter the ranges. If you think, oh, I actually need another option, you can of course add a comment, and I'll be keeping an eye on those. This is not me trying to offload work. I'm definitely still working on this myself, but I've got other things that need doing. So any help you can offer will speed up the process. What am I going to do with this? Don't know. Don't quite know. Ideally, I would like to have a section on the website where information about each game is listed, as long as it isn't too unwieldy and doesn't slow down the loading of the site too much. But I need the information first. I am not working through these in any particular order. I'm not going from top to bottom, although I did do most of the A's last night. I've still got a few more to go. But yeah, it depends whether I want to spend the time just loading up the game and so on and so forth. So yes, any help that you can offer, because some of you might have played some of these games that I played 7 years ago. You might have played them this week, and therefore the information is fresher in your mind, and therefore it is sensible for me to pick your brains. So yes, it would be very much appreciated if people were to help out with this. If you can't, that's absolutely fine. But this is in progress. Slow progress, but progress nonetheless. Have a great day, folks. Thank you for any help you might be able to provide. Cheerio. Thank you very much for watching. If you enjoyed the video, why not click the like button and consider subscribing. Remember, you can ring the bell notification icon to get notified when new videos go live. And until next time, cheerio.